Today I am demonstrating the Surreal acrylic painting of orcas swimming through a field. Hi, I'm Lisa, the artist behind Lachri Fine Art. This week I am working on a Frederick's Blue Label Ultra Smooth canvas and using Liquitex Basics acrylic paints for the Surreal piece. If you're supporters over on Patreon, the 1-hour version of this tutorial is available for you guys now, so make sure to head over and check that out. Now we will move on to this tutorial. I am starting by mixing phthalo green, phthalo blue, and white to get my background color. I'm using a taklon bristled filbert brush to paint in this background. And I'm just adjusting how much white versus how much of the green or the blue I'm using to control how dark the color is. I'm going to do about 3 layers of this to really get the color as smooth as I want. Plus, the phthalo green and phthalo blue are fairly translucent, so it's going to take me a couple coats to get it really smooth. I'm blending that out with a mop brush, and I do have a video showing you how I blend wet into wet. I will have a card pop up so you can check that out. I've used a couple of stencils with white Createx paint to get the background here. I've also flicked some white paint to get the stars. For the moon, I'm leaving my background color and blending white around it to create all of that shading just with one color, which keeps it very, very simple. I'm applying the paint with a soft brush, and then I'm using a stiff round brush to smudge that out. But I don't want to just paint the whole thing white and then try to blend over it. It won't have that nice soft fade in the background. I'm just going to continuously layer until I get the texture where I want it. Onto the grass, I've mixed purple and black for the base layer. I'm going to let that dry completely, and then I'm going to come on top with a flat taklon bristled brush, and I've mixed some green and unbleached titanium white to create these little brush strokes for the grass. Now, it is really important that I let bits of that black show through, or the black-purple color. I don't want to cover that completely. I'm also doing this in almost waves, or sort of rows, so that the grass isn't just solid green at the bottom. It looks like the wind is blowing through it when I'm done. And I'm using several shades of green. It's actually just one green, but well, 2 greens. I think I've got a bright green in there too, but I'm adding very different amounts of the unbleached titanium white and white to control how light or dark the color is. I don't want it all the same color. Once I get this blocked in there, I'll go back through and add highlights as well. When I get the base, then I'm going to glaze green over all of it, the light and the dark, which just brings those colors together much better. Now I'm going to come on top of that with the highlights, just on the tips of some of these little waves. I want to make sure that there's movement in this grass. I don't want it very stiff. So onto the earth, I've drawn out with a white charcoal pencil my circle and the shape of the continents, and now I'm going through and painting those in. I'm leaving the background showing through for the water, just like I did for the moon. And I'm just going to blend my clouds right over that. I'm applying the paint with a regular soft brush and then going on top of it with a stiff round brush to smudge that out. I can take the airbrush here. I'm misting water over it. That lets me use the mop brush to get a really soft transition. So I'm almost blending wet into wet at that point. Even though I'm blending over dry paint, I'm getting it wet with water from the airbrush. I don't want to use a spray bottle because that would give you big gloppy water droplets, which will not work for this. So I can take the airbrush, mist over that, and then soften that out with the mop brush. I'm going, just like the moon, going to keep layering until I get it how I want it with all of the clouds. Once that was done, I did come back on top of it with a bit of turquoise airbrush paint with the Createx paint and shaded the back end of the earth so it wasn't so bright up at the top where you see this on the left-hand side. It kind of draws attention off the canvas. So by going on top of that with the airbrush paint later on, it will tone all of that down. But I left the right side very bright with a lot of white. Now onto the whale. I'm first painting in the white section. This is going to take a couple of layers to get it totally opaque. Once that dries, I'm going to start blending my teal colors over it. I'm using water from the airbrush just to keep it wet so I have time to blend. Now I'm going to paint in the black sections. Now these will not stay totally black, but it's easier just to go ahead and block them in black first. I'm going to dry that. I'm outlining everything with white so that I can come back on top with the teal color, or the turquoise colors, to get that glow. Now I'm using a teal kind of turquoise mixture, the same colors that I used in the sky, to create shiny areas on the whale over the black. I don't just want him to be solid black. I'm using the liner brush with little dots to create the shine, even more shine, on that whale. I've come back through with the grass over the edges where he's jumping out of the grass. I'm going to do the same thing on the next whale. Blend out the white section. And notice the white section is not white. If I leave that totally white and totally black, it's going to look terrible and flat. The white colors are going to pick up the colors that are around it. So in this case, the dark blues in the sky, you can add green. I don't usually use green too much as a reflecting color. I just don't like how it looks. So in this case, I'm coming back through with the turquoise and teal colors. So once I get the black blocked in there, I'm going to come back on top with a light teal color. Again, making them look shiny. Now, as I'm adding this teal color over the black, I'm not covering all of the black. That won't look right. It would still look flat. Look how I'm doing it in just little sections here and there. Then I'll come on top with a little bit of a lighter color. Again, not covering all of the teal, just sections of it. Then I'm going to use a liner brush and add little dots and lines to make them look even shinier. Little sparkles. A few more little details, and that is it for this one. And I have, for the Patreon tutorial this week, I've also got 3 real-time clips from this one mixed in for you guys of the Earth, the Moon, and the grass. So make sure to head over and check that out. You can see I'm layering the grass a little bit over where the whales are coming out of the grass there. And that is it. If you guys paint this for yourself, please share it with me, tag me in it on social media, wherever, so that I can see your version of this painting. If you're new to my channel, I have new video critiques every Tuesday where I'm critiquing your original paintings or drawings, my own speed paintings, drawings, and tutorials every Wednesday, our Q&A videos every Thursday, and artist vlogs each weekend. So if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. I say that every week. I should find something new to say. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. All of those social media sites are linked below in the video description where you can keep up with news, my newest work, and see real-time clips of whatever it is I'm currently working on. I'll see you guys tomorrow. For those of you who are not fans of surrealism, don't worry, I'm going to be painting some very realistic wildlife soon, just not next week. Next week I'm going to be playing with powder blender again for colored pencil. Going to try something totally different with really dark colors, so we'll see how it works with that, and on sanded paper. I don't have high hopes for my love of sanded paper. So there's a chance I may decide I hate it, give up, start over on gessoed paper. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Pretty new. It's all experimentation at this point.